You're watching the 2024 SCAC Men's and Women's Golf Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the Texas Lutheran University men's and women's golf programs. The Bulldogs will be led as they head into the season under the guidance of Coach Angela Hisey, along with leadership from junior Tobey Wills on the men's program and sophomore Jacqueline Springs on the women's program. And Coach Jacqueline, Tobey, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Coach, we'll get started with you heading into the start of a new spring season. I'm just interested how excited you are to be back with both of these groups on the precipice of getting ready to head into that championship spring season. And kind of how did the fall season unfold for these two programs, and what gives you confidence about these groups as we get ready to start the 2024 year?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I missed the group over the break, so I'm glad that we're back. Practicing hard and getting ready. We have our first tournament next week, so looking forward to that. The fall season was a season of learning and growing for us. I think everyone did well at certain times. So right now our goal is for everyone to do well at the same time and kind of all come together and shoot low all at the same time at the same tournament, so we can score well as a team. For this coming season, I'm just looking forward to them taking what they, learned in the fall and growing with that, especially as we have a young team, them kind of learning what college golf is all about and transitioning to the college golf life and using it in the spring as we go into the championships.
Tobey, heading into your junior season now, certainly been a big part of this program going back to the first day you stepped on campus. But I'm interested now, maybe those first couple of years, it was just, I just want to focus. I could just be the best golfer I could be, and I'll let the upperclassmen lead, and that will be something that they deal with. But now as you step into those shoes, one of two juniors on the team with a number of freshmen, in their first years of collegiate golf, how have you kind of seen your role transition heading into this year? And are those leadership responsibilities something that you like you enjoy kind of shouldering and taking on heading into the season?
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it. It's definitely different. My freshman year coming here, I was just wanted to be the best that I can. I was focused more on helping the team out more than kind of setting an example, because I had nothing but fifth years and seniors on my team. This year is very different because I'm the oldest on the team. And I've played all these courses a couple times, once or twice in the past years. So I kind of know what not to do, what to do. So when we get out in our practice rounds with all the freshmen, I tell them, hey, this is kind of try to guide them in the right direction and try to get them to know that if they have a bad hole, it's okay. You just kind of get up and forget about it. You have plenty more holes, and try to get them to focus on kind of have the mindset I had on my freshman year, but it's more focus on the team and try to help others out rather than just focusing on yourself. I'd say I really enjoyed that part of the game, being the oldest, kind of helping others out instead of just focusing on myself. It's been pretty nice.
Jacqueline, coming into your sophomore season, last year debut collegiate career, an outstanding year, being named a WGCA All-American Scholar Athlete as well. How did last year's experience, kind of going through that first year of collegiate golf, what did you learn over the course of that season, and how much does that experience kind of help you coming into your sophomore campaign, especially just understanding the ebbs and flows of a year?
I feel like as a sophomore, I'm a lot more relaxed, especially when we're playing tournaments. Last year, I always stressed myself out beforehand. And I feel like it's also helped me a lot with time management. I'm a biology major, and I feel like I always struggled finding time to complete readings I needed for class and practice golf. So I feel like I'm not struggling with that as much now.
Coach, you talked a little bit about kind of, transitioning from the fall season into the spring and kind of the ups and downs of that, and some of these younger student athletes on both of these teams as they're sort of finding their space. I'm interested, as a coach, golf, you kind of have this split season with fall and spring, and you see your student athletes, and then there's a break, and then we come back together. As a coach, how do you deal with those challenges? Kind of going through the flows of a season, and as these two groups prepare for this spring season, how excited are you just to have them back and be back together to get ready to head towards that championship part of the year?
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm really excited that they're back. I think, like you said, there is that transition period from fall to spring where they've had downtime and they've had to be kind of accountable on their own. And I think that's what's good about this group is that they are kind of taking the bull by the horns and practicing on their own time and in their downtime. We're very blessed to have a range facility here on campus that they can utilize anytime that they want. So it's always fun, driving by the range and seeing them out there grinding all the time. So I think they're going to be fine. I think that they've put in the work. Obviously, we're going to be working hard all semester and kind of learning as we go. But yeah, we're ready. We're excited.
Tobey, as I mentioned, your first couple of years, very successful there. A two-time first team All SCAC performer, SCAC, first year freshman of the year, and then scholar All-American as well last season. What continues to motivate you as a golfer, and where is your game at this point? What have you continued to work on, specifically within your game to help define it heading into your junior year?
So I've been focusing a lot on my game. I've really focused on this first tournament because it's in my hometown's from Houston area. So I'm excited to get back there. And I've played that course once or twice in past years. So I'm really focused on kind of what I'm going to need to do in that tournament, and like a bunch of shots that I figured that I'm going to need to hit. So I'm really trying to make sure I'm comfortable in there. And from past years, I feel like I've had a lot more success than I imagined coming in, and I had a pretty good semester last semester. So I'm just trying to keep the ball rolling on that and just finally hopefully get the job done this next semester, unlike last semester.
Jacqueline, as you've continued to prepare heading into your sophomore season, what part of your game have you really tried to work on and strengthen? And then is there a specific, spot in your game where when it's, clicking and working really well, it gives you a lot of confidence, a couple of holes in, think, okay, my driver's feeling really comfortable, that knows I've got a pretty good chance to have a pretty good afternoon, or maybe it's around the greens, or, what is it that you feel when it's going gives you a lot of confidence?
So freshman year, I struggled a lot with my longer irons and my woods. So I've been working a lot on those over last summer and even last fall. And I feel like I'm finally starting to get comfortable with the way those are, and I'm transitioning to working more on my short game.
Coach, one of the things that I've grown to really appreciate about the TLU men's women's golf program is the camaraderie and the support and kind of the ownership of this program, and how it extends from obviously the active student athletes, but every year at the conference championship, I feel like there's a number of TLU alum that is out there supporting old teammates back, supporting coach, supporting the student athletes. Coach Tran, yourself, obviously alums as well, and take a lot of pride in that. Can you speak to that? Is that something that's real? Obviously not being a part of it, I fully don't understand, but it's definitely something that I've noticed. And can you talk a little bit about the pride that this group has, representing TLU within those programs?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that vibe is definitely real. It's something that goes back as far as I can remember being involved with TLU. Like you said, I was a student athlete here, and even back at that time, those were my best friends on the team. These are the people that I still keep in touch with. So we're like a family, and that's true, I think, amongst the whole TLU community, not just the golf program. But yeah, Coach Tran being an alum and me being an alum, both being part of the golf team here, I think hopefully our experiences carry over to our current student athletes. I know, especially the girls, I tell all the time, like, that was the time of my life. I loved playing golf for TLU. It was something that I really enjoyed, great experiences. So I always tell them that's what I want for them. I want it to be something that they'll remember fondly. And so, yeah, I think there is that great camaraderie, especially, out at tournaments. We have friends and family that always come watch. I think they get along great with each other, the teams do, but also with other teams in the conference. The girls have befriended a lot of the other teams as well. I think the guys too. So it's just fun to see them interacting with other players, with each other. Truly is, yeah, like a family.
Finally, wrapping up with our two student athletes here, Tobey and Jacqueline, I'm interested, as we turn the calendar, get focused on the spring season, the championship portion of the year for the golf season, and you've had conversations with your teammates about some of the goals and expectations for your two teams going into the season. What have those conversations look like, and what will be key in order to try and accomplish those goals heading into the year?
Something that I've talked about with all the guys on the team is, I know we didn't have a great last semester, but that's in the past. That's 2023, now it's on 2024, and the main thing I've really wanted to focus on with all of them, make sure they know, is this first tournament, it's not an impossible course. I feel like it suits us really well. So I really wanted them to focus on this first tournament more than any of the others, because the others are multiple other weeks away. This one's next week, so I just want them to focus on this one and try to have a good first tournament and then go from there and learn what, if we did something wrong, learn what we did wrong and just go from there.
So for the girls, we've talked about making sure we're having fun, because a lot of times we get so wrapped up in what's happening that we stress out, and then we have like issues on the course that don't really need to be there. So I just want to make sure everyone has fun and they're actually still enjoying themselves while we're out at tournaments and at practice.
And finally, Coach, wrapping up with you is, in our world, obviously success can be measured in so many different ways and quantified a number of different measures. But when you talk about success with your programs, how do you, have those conversations? What is that message that you try and deliver? And ultimately, this 2024 season looks successful for these two groups if what plays out for these teams heading into the year?
Yeah, so my thing is for them to set goals. So set a goal of what you really want to shoot at the upcoming tournament and accomplish that first. So if we can meet those short-term goals, then I think we have a better chance in the long run of making those long-term goals of, winning conference, going to nationals. That's always the ultimate goal, but it's those baby steps to get there. And I think that them setting these goals and achieving them is going to give them the confidence to really do well ultimately as a team and get to that next level.
Coach Angela Hisey, junior Tobey Wills, and sophomore Jacqueline Springs, the Texas Lutheran University Bulldogs men's and women's golf program. The Bulldogs will open up the 2024 spring season on February 26th down at the Space City Classic. Coach, Tobey, Jacqueline, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the year.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Russell.
Thank you.